Friend of the show and also first lady of our city, Chirlane McCray is on our show. Chirlane, excuse me, Chirlane. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
How was the holiday for you?
Holiday's fantastic.
And the
so
de Blasio
nice
family.
Family, Dante, Kiara, Bill and I, and extended family. We had a great meal and wonderful time.
How big is the de Blasio Thanksgiving?
You know, it varies from year to year. I think we had 10, 12 of us this year, but every year is different. Depends on who shows.
Is it different? Is it a different vibe when you're in the mayor's residence as opposed to when you guys?
Oh, yes.
Different vibe.
A very different vibe.
Do people cook for you?
Yes.
Wow.
I asked her, so I'm like, did you cook this year? She's like, no.
Wait, you're asking, do they cook for her at the mansion or do they cook for her when she's away with her family?
No, when you're at the mansion. Is it a different vibe? Yeah, it's a different vibe when you're
staff
in the
and
Different
for sure.
vibe, different people, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
But whether I'm there or somewhere else, I'm not cooking.
Oh, got it. No matter what.
So cooking is not what you do.
No,
anymore.
That's not true.
Any longer.
Not anymore. It's a new era for me.
Does your daughter cook?
Yes, she does.
Oh, so that's the way this is supposed to work.
Well,
she's supposed to step in now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But she's not doing that right now, but
we'll give her time.
She knows how. Dante knows how to cook. Kiara knows how to cook.
Hey guys, it's time. Okay,
step up and start cooking for your
telling
parents.
you it's time to start cooking for your parents.
All right,
that is what parents dream of. The entire time since you were born is the day that they can literally go, they got it.
So I got to tell you though, not in my household. That never transitioned. Like my grandmother, even when my mom started cooking, she then would assist my grandmother. But grandma was still cooking to the bitter end
because she wanted to,
right?
Yeah, because
not because she had to. It's different.
No, my mom's quite capable. But now Mima, she does the cooking. My mom holds it down.
Right, but because she wants to.
Right,
not because she.
But we should look.
She has to.
No, and let me tell you something. There's a special joy. I love cooking for my mom. Having her sit down, not having her do anything. She loves it. When I come home, I cook for her.
And how's the food though? Honestly,
I'm very good.
I don't know.
Stop.
You're a liar.
Stop.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Chirlane, you are very active in our city with mental health and
Yes,
wellness
I am.
and all of it. And today you're here to talk about the program you've been working on for some time, right? NYC Well, am I saying it right?
NYC Well, yeah. It's a core component of Thrive NYC. We just celebrated our first birthday yesterday.
Right.
Whole big
I remember when you called
program.
in. You called in when it was launching.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's a 1 year old, and NYC Well, we just launched a couple of weeks ago, and we're very excited about it. People have a place to call.
Right.
They need help. They need to figure out, like, I'm depressed. I can't get out of bed in the morning. I'm stressed. I can't function properly. Or maybe, my girlfriend's drinking too much. What do I do? They have a place to call. 1-888-NYC Well, and they can talk to a trained counselor. And this is 365 days a year, 24/7, free, confidential, and
That's amazing.
It's
How
really
many
amazing.
nationally is this something that other major cities have in place, or are we leading the charge here? Because accepting the reality that mental health on every level, whether you come from a great family, whether you come from a horrible neighborhood, or whatever circumstance you come from, everyone has some level of mental health issues at a point in their life when they're confronting challenges, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so common. Most people don't realize how common it is. Yeah, depression.
And some people see
anxiety.
having the ability to speak to someone as a luxury. They don't have the money or whatever. And for our city to offer this as just a part of general wellness is amazing.
Yeah, it is. You can't separate the mind and body. We need our mental health professionals just as much as we need our primary care doctors. We really do. It's so common. Most people don't reach out to anybody when they need help, and that's bad because it can get worse.
Right.
Of course.
The average time of feeling like something's wrong and actually getting treatment is 9 years, which is way too long.
That's an
Isn't it
amazing
crazy?
statistic.
So NYC Well, being able to call any time, a day or night, is really a great service for New Yorkers, and we are leading the way as a city. It's the most comprehensive service of any city or state in the nation on this scale. I mean, because it's so common, yes, other cities have programs and lifelines and different, but this is more comprehensive than what anyone else is doing.
Now, are people participating? Because a lot of the times when it comes to mental health, I feel like especially like in the Latino community, in the Black community, a lot of people are still not as open to admit that mental health is an issue.
Them white people problems, man.
Yeah, we hear
We
that all
got
the
this.
time.
Go talk to Abuela. She got you, bro.
So I'm just curious to know, like, is it successful? Are people participating? Do you see, like, do you guys collect data to see if, like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
successful
we're
in certain neighborhoods in certain
collecting
areas of
lots
New York?
Absolutely, collecting a lot of data. I want you to know that this service is provided in with translation in more than 200 languages, right? We've got consulars who speak Spanish, English, Mandarin, Cantonese, but any language you speak, we've got you covered. And it is being used by folks who speak from people from all cultures, really. We're tracking data. It's confidential and there's privacy is respected, but we want to know how many people are calling and what languages do they speak. And we're averaging, it's only been a few weeks, so we don't have great numbers, but I can tell you that more than 500, the average is more than 500 calls a day so far.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
That
I don't know if
seems-
that's really exciting and good to hear, or really sad and scary that many people in the city are struggling and need someone to call that much every day.
it's a good thing that people have a place to call.
Yes, you're right. It's a good thing that people have a place to call, especially because we just went through in the hip hop community. One of our biggest artists, Kid Cudi, was just very open about the fact that he's been dealing with depression. That's been a real hard thing for him, and we were all sort of excited about it because it was the first time that we could recall an artist, who's really prominent in the hip hop world, telling people, "Yes, I'm dealing with mental health issues and I'm seeking help for it."
Oh, it's so good. That
And now
people
we're
feel
watching
free to talk
Kanye
about
West
it.
also deal with having some, I guess it would be an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had his share. I think Kanye's had his share of issues over the years that we probably all, but again, it's the way people kind of diagnose family. It's like, well, Kanye's just kind of crazy sometimes, but it's like, no, Kanye probably was
Well, and
someone who needed
also,
to have some
too-
serious conversations.
And
That's
also,
right.
too, we watch artists a lot and people a lot use things that we think are therapeutic, right? Like we would assume that Kanye having an outlet to speak his mind,
Right.
share his life through his music would be like, oh, okay, at least he's talking about it. He's getting it out, like, right? And sometimes, and evidently, that's not always enough.
No, it's not always enough. A lot of people will self-medicate. They'll drink or they'll smoke or they'll do other
Well, that was
things.
Kid Cudi's thing for a
right?
while. He was definitely
Yeah,
self-medicated.
it's so common. Let me tell you, the 1 in 5 is the statistic that we use. But when people are under stress and a lot of stuff going on in the world, that number is probably a little higher. Everywhere I go, I ask people, like, who in this room has not experienced mental illness or substance misuse in some way? Please raise your hand. No one ever raises their hand in those situations.
That's so weird.
Which
So
means
funny.
that everybody's affected in some way. Every family is affected by this.
Now, speaking of things that make you want to self-medicate, take us through, if you will, the election night experience this year for you and the mayor. What was that like?
We walked in there and we were feeling
To the
fairly
Javits Center?
optimistic.
Where did you
Yes,
guys go? Okay.
Yes, we went there. We felt pretty optimistic. There was so many people there, and like we're getting ready to celebrate.
And we all were.
Yeah.
I mean, getting ready to celebrate Katy Perry. Who had a stage? Like,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga had a stage
Yeah,
set up over
everyone was
Somebody had
ready.
a stage
Yeah,
set up
she
over
was
there.
sitting in front of me there. I mean, J-Lo came in at some point, and
Well, everyone's ready to party.
everyone was ready to party, and those numbers started coming in, and it was very quiet.
For hours, right? Some people
Very
stayed till
quiet.
2, 3 in the morning, right?
We did not stay that long. We saw the way those numbers were going, and we said we got to get out of here and get ready for what we got to do tomorrow.
Right. There's gonna be a full, and that has not stopped. Obviously, I don't want to sit here and ask you tons of stuff about your husband's issues to deal with, but has it been a big stress? I mean, this whole thing of the president-elect being in the city every day, just that alone, I know, has been a big issue for the city.
Yeah, it's a big issue for the city, so of course it's a big stress for him. There's a lot of anxiety daily, questions from people and press, and it's a tough situation.
You've had experience with the Trumps previously, I'm sure, personally. No.
Absolutely.
So your husband has
never met them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we asked de Blasio about, he was like, I met him at some fundraisers, but it wasn't like they were,
In our social circle.
yeah, you guys are hanging out.
Right.
You know.
No. But they had comments about each other
Yeah.
before.
Well, Trump came
positive
at de
and negative.
Blasio and said he was like the worst mayor in the country or something
Yeah, I
crazy
think
like
he'd
that.
also complimented him previous to that, and then I think he, very Trump-like. I think he complimented him at some point, then he roasted him at another point, and then tell us this though: they did meet,
They did. They did.
can you? I know you can't give us any inside dirt, but how did you feel the mayor felt after the meeting?
Well, I wasn't there, but I think that he felt it was very interesting.
He gained information.
I think there's a common theme when it comes to Trump that nobody, and we're watching it at this point, that nobody actually believes he just says stuff, and then you got to kind of wait and see.
Yes.
Right? Like he's definitely not following through with some of his promises that he even promised the people who voted for him already.
Yeah.
So
you look at his record. I mean, he says one thing and then he
Yes.
says another thing that totally contradicts what he said before. We don't know. This is one of those situations where we're going to have to see what he actually does, right?
Right.
Show me, don't tell me.
That's right.
Because
And de Blasio's called in and he made sure, your husband did, that no president can just tell New York City what to do. They can pull funding from us and support from us, but they can't tell us what to do.
Right.
Right, and that's something I think people think the president is kind of like all powerful and can kind of say you're gonna and dictate to people how it's gonna happen, and that's not the case for
yeah, fortunately,
any city or state.
Right.
That's right. Fortunately, there are checks and balances. There are a lot of things that we're doing. For example, our mental health program. This is not a federal program. This is a city program. Cities can lead. Cities have control over.
Unfortunately, New York City,
Mm-hmm.
with the tax dollars that are collected and things like that, and we have money to run programs that even the state doesn't necessarily even condone.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
That's
that's
right.
actually a good thing for New York City,
It is a good thing for us.
because Cuomo and de Blasio ain't necessarily getting along either.
Well, speaking of which, there's some headlines going around these days that people are trying to come for your house.
What?
That's there's been chatter. There's been chatter about what kind of challenge the mayor could see in his next election, and there's some people who think it's a foregone conclusion that he will win. We are obviously big supporters here of the mayor, but there's some people who think it will not necessarily be a cakewalk.
Well, nobody's actually stepped up and said they were going to run.
Right.
Yeah, no.
That hasn't happened yet. And then you had the guy who's partially blind, no disrespect, but he is, Governor Patterson, who got put in as governor after they ran Elliot Spitzer out. Remember
Yes.
they ran Elliot
Of course,
Spitzer
we remember
out?
Governor Patterson.
And then Patterson stepped in. So now it says former Governor Patterson steps in as like Dems are soft. He's trying to get somebody to run against de Blasio. I don't know why. It's very interesting.
I don't know either.
Well,
Keep an eye.
I'm
Keep an
not-
eye on that guy. No pun intended.
keep an eye on. I'm going to tell you there's
Is that
no
bad?
such
That was a bad joke. That was
Yes.
foul.
Please stop.
That
The
was
first
foul.
lady.
Sorry.
What were you
Yeah,
going to
yeah, I
say?
would say there's no such thing as a cakewalk. There's just no such thing. You have to earn those votes every day.
That's right. That's right.
Every day, and that's I know how my husband thinks. I know how he works, and he takes nothing for granted.
Do you guys get a lot of love? And we live in a world where we see trolls on the internet who say really mean things, but when we go out in public, it's always very, very nice. What's your guys' experience like interacting with the public day to day when the mayor's out?
Lots of love, which is why it's good to be out there, because if you stay in and just read that stuff online, oof,
Oh, yeah. If you trust the
Yeah.
New York Post for feeling good about yourself, de
there's not a lot of
Blasio.
love there.
No, ain't no love.
And Mrs. McCray, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be upset. Look, it's always good to see you, Chirlane.
Good to see you too. Can I tell the number again?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please give it out one more time.
1-888 NYC Well. You can call, you can text or chat. The text number is 65173, and you can go online as well. Go to nyc.gov/NYC Well.
NYC Well, a service provided to you by New York City and
Completely
obviously our
free.
amazing First Lady and our mayor. Mayor
Thank
de
you so
Blasio.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great
It's always
seeing you.
great to
Yes.
see you.